Toronto police raided 2 local pot shops today. Now here's a live look at one of them. This is Cannabis Culture on Queen Street East near Broadview. This is not the first time that police have raided Cannabis Culture. The dispensary is owned by marijuana activist Mark Emery and his wife Jodie. He is known as the Prince of Pot, and he served a 5-year sentence in the United States for selling mail-order cannabis seeds.
I'm shocked that the police are continuing to waste tax dollars on a pointless law enforcement campaign that only causes harm to peaceful people who are doing no harm to others.
I'm joined live on the phone right now by Toronto Police spokesperson Mark Pugash. Thanks for being with us on CP24. We understand that not one but 2 locations have been raided today, Mark.
There have been 2 locations, and I'm getting details of a third. The first location was a place called the Green Room, 562 Mount Pleasant Road. There were 2 people arrested, and they were released to appear later with police. And the second one was around 3 o'clock at Cannabis Culture. There were 2 people charged and released to appear later. There were 2 people who had been arrested who were charged in the original Project Claudia raids at the end of May, and it's expected that they will be charged later this evening. So and we have details, which I'm in the process of getting, of a warrant executed in 11 Division, but I don't have anything more at this point.
So can you just clarify for me, the 2 people charged and released a while back, are they the same that are either charged tonight or will be at some point this evening?
Yes, they are. A man and a woman have been arrested. They were arrested and charged at the end of May at a different address of a Cannabis Culture, but they were charged 2 months ago. It's expected they'll be charged with additional offenses later this evening.
And let's talk about the possibility of a third location. What is your understanding on that front, Mark?
I'm in the process of getting the information. It's in 11 Division, and as soon as I get the details, I'll make sure that CP24 has them.
Some of those who have been charged, either in the past or will be or have been today, have been outspoken advocates and activists when it comes to medicinal pot. Cannabis Culture was one of the places that was raided today. Here's a live look right now. Would that have any bearing on the timing of the raids and the location of the raids?
No. I mean, the interesting thing is the dispensary lobbying groups are trying to spread this idea that there's a gray area in the law. There absolutely isn't a gray area. They were also saying that there's no harm with this marijuana in spite of the fact that no one knows where it comes from. And within the last 2 weeks, the Globe and Mail has done some good work in analyzing samples they bought at dispensaries in Toronto, and they show that there are indeed health problems, whether it's with mold or with other things that can pose a risk. So we raised that at the time, and the activists and the lobbyers were trying to dismiss it, but in fact it's true. The law is absolutely clear. It says that selling marijuana outside of a government licensed scheme is against the law. There is no gray area. It's absolutely clear. And the law, until the law is changed, the dispensaries, in our view, in the view of most reasonable people, remain illegal.
What are some of the charges that they may be facing or have faced?
It would be, they could be possession of proceeds, possession for the purpose, fail to comply with previous conditions. It could be a variety of things, but as soon as we have the charge details, we will be putting them out.
And if those were charged, those who were charged previously, how are they able to continue to operate or set up even in a new location?
Well, I can't respond to that now. These are issues that will come before the courts. But the fact remains that where we believe there are public safety issues, where we have complaints, where we have other concerns, we will continue to enforce the law.
Let's talk about the message that some believe police are putting forward by virtue of these 2 raids, possibly the third one.
Well, I'm not sure what message they feel we're putting forward. We're enforcing the law. The people who say that they're not doing anything wrong are ignoring the obvious. What they are doing is against the law. There are people who say we shouldn't be enforcing the law because the law is going to change. I don't think that's an argument that anybody with any sense would accept. People were told in advance, the people who own the buildings where the dispensaries are that they had obligations under the law. If they didn't abide by their obligations, there would be remedies under the Criminal Code or the Controlled Drug Substances Act. We gave people a week's notice. Perhaps people thought we weren't serious, but the fact remains that what they're doing is against the law. And they can try and dress it up, and they can try and smooth it over, and they can try and spread this idea that there's a gray area in the law. There is no gray area in the law. Dispensaries, marijuana dispensaries, by definition, are illegal, and there is really no getting around that.
Mark Pugash, Toronto Police spokesperson, thank you so much for joining us on CP24.
You're welcome.